Better? Hi guys, good evening again. Our apologies for that. I think our audio was still enjoying the Mother's Day celebrations, but we're back. And like we mentioned before, of course, we speak two languages. So, nous en anglais, nous en creole. So, tout le monde. Now, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Our single mothers, our co-parenting mothers, our living with a partner mothers, our aunties who take on the roles of mothers, our cousins, our grandmothers, our mother-in-laws, stepmother, whatever the case may be, any woman who's making any kind of contribution to a child's life, I want to extend Mother's Day wishes to you. Okay, now we really want to take some time out to say thank you. We have some shout outs because throughout the course of this week, I came across so many persons who were just expressing their appreciation for the show. So, Annou Koze, merci. So, when they say yeah, I had the privilege of meeting finally Sherms Hippolyte and her sister Angela Hippolyte. So thank you guys so much for tuning into the show every Sunday. Nous apprécions ça. So merci. Cynthia Dollar Butcher Boswell, qui nouvelle Boswell, Doris Joseph, Miss Doreen, nous parlons bon matin Monday. Bon matin, qui nouvelle ou moi hope je nous en chai primaire paye nous te parler. Jenny Green, Mr. Chasney, Michael Chasney, nous voulons dire bonsoir. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. I was near Scotia at the Boulevard and I met a gentleman. I forgot to take his name, who stopped me and he really expressed that he enjoyed watching the show. So, pas changer, mathémado no, mais nous really apprécier ça. So, nadi bonsoir. Mr. Ivor Daniel, we want to say good evening. Yes, we want to say good evening to you. This gentleman, I think he's the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Infrastructure. So he actually came up and expressed his appreciation for the show. We really want to say thank you. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the encouragement. We love the fact that we have persons from all different walks, areas of life just tuning in. Really, really appreciate that. Of course, our die-hard fans, Vanessa Charles Bascom, Marvin, and you're not with us anymore, but I know you're looking, so we really just want to say thank you. And a special shout out goes to our single mothers. I think it is a different kettle of fish to be raising children on your own without help, without support, financial, physical, emotional, or psychological. And the rhetoric, the narrative that has existed for so long where single mothers are concerned is that they're bitter, they're tired, the children are always lacking for something. But I really want to say to the women who are making the extra effort to raise children as well-rounded as possible, as grounded as possible, to ensure that they're breaking the toxicity from generations before, to ensure that they're trying their best to raise well-adjusted individuals. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to you. That's not taking away from anybody else, but you can appreciate that the weight is so much heavier when you're the only one carrying it. So I really want to say Happy Mother's Day to you. Now we have a guest with us today, and I'm looking forward to this conversation. This is somebody that I have known for a very long time, probably about 15 years or so. Yeah, about that. Huh? Mm-hmm. It's been a while, yeah, about 15 years. And we're definitely going to have a beautiful, beautiful conversation. Now, before we go any further, we're going to take a short break. We're going to let you all get your tea, get your coffee, come relax. We're going to chat. Annou Koze also. So, nous allons payer d'autres billes. Restez avec nous. This is Annou Koze.
My mother sent us back. It was out of his purpose to give her something, still with it.
Things were very difficult with my parents, and my mother opened a small bakery in the Castries area.
Because my father do everything he could do for me, not for himself, for me, personal. And from there, when I see my mom, I just sit and I just remember my mother and my father every day, how they take it so hard to bring us up. And I seen from today there, I actually see good children from mother. The mother asks for freedom, and the woman that's freedom, you know.
PAX is the agent for Caribbean Line, which offers an effective alternative for global integrative of transport logistics from Sheerness, UK to Vieux-Fort St. Lucia in shipping, documentation, administrative procedure, loading and unloading operations. We also offer courier, small package service, customs brokerage, ship agency, freight forwarder, consolidator, and accounting services. Visit them today on New Dock Road, Vieux-Fort, or call 454-1200 or 7198837. PAX is effective, efficient, and reliable.
Real estate transactions are now made easy. Whether buying, selling, or renting residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, or touristic property, we offer the best deals in real estate transactions with professional support, including valuation, material sourcing, and construction. Contact Ed Harris and Associates, your courteous and efficient real estate agents. Call 485-1456 or email caribbiz@gmail.com.
Do you need to copy or print your document? Are you in need of insurance? Are you looking for office stationery? Stop. Yes, LMP Services on Clark Lane, Vieux-Fort has all the services you need. They open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or call 454-8757 or 721-8757 for affordable rates, reliable and effective customer service with a difference.
Ernesto's Auto Parts, located on the Labrie-Vieux-Fort Highway, is your place for auto parts. We have suspension parts, mounts, brakes, shocks, and so much more.
We specialize in accessories like mats, batteries, horns, lubricants, and much more.
We're open from Mondays to Saturdays from 8 to 5 and Sundays on most holidays from 8 to 1.
L'on prie, Ernesto va aider pour vous.
What do you need to transport? Call the hauler. At M&E's Trucking, we offer a wide range of services island-wide. From containerized movement, flatbed service, and lowboy transfers. We're located at Beanfield, Vieux-Fort. Our skillful professional drivers are ready to serve you. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or email us at vibration711@gmail.com. Call us at 488-1000. We're ready to serve you. M&D's Trucking Service, a powerhouse ready to haul.
Merci pour kawete avec nous. Thank you so much for staying with us. Of course, this is Annou Koze. And just before the break, we mentioned that we have a special guest tonight. But just before I get into that, I want to say thank you. I saw some of the comments. Thank you so much, guys, for the Mother's Day wishes. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. And I am good. My week was wonderful. Thanks so much for asking, Cynthia. And we're going to introduce you to a gentleman. Of course, I'm going to give him the opportunity to tell you about himself. But I have known him for about we were calculating on the break roughly about 13 years. He has been my attorney for that period of time. So I know him very well. He holds a lot of my secrets. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way. So this is a person who, whenever that's the number I call. So I've known him for a while, and I saw something on Facebook recently where persons had been asking a lot of questions with regards to whom and what. And as we delve, then you'll understand more. But this gentleman has decided this year's election under the Mikudnov constituency. So, ladies, gentlemen, I would love to introduce you to Mr. Michael St. Catherine, who's going to be joining us on Annou Koze tonight. Mr. St. Catherine, how are you doing?
Not bad, man.
So, welcome.
I feel very comfortable.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. That's the idea.
Yeah.
So, first question. Why politics?
Why? Many people have asked me that, why politics? But politics is just a graduation from my present state in life. As an attorney of 27 years, you sometimes get to a point where you feel that you want to do a little more.
Okay.
But sometimes you feel that you're a little powerless. And some of the problem, because you see, in private practice as a lawyer, problems grow. When you start, they give you simple problems. As you go on, you get the more difficult problems. And then persons are expecting a lot from you. And so in an effort to deliver, you sometimes feel that, just remaining within the construct of law may not be, the best. You decide, well, let me, have some political influence, because law extends as far as politics.
Well, everything. Huh?
Yes, it extends as far as politics, and therefore you cannot feel that because I'm a lawyer, I just remain in the courts.
Yeah, I think
you have to expand and
right.
be able to influence all different areas and directions so that you can better serve your people.
I think they said that two persons you never cross is your accountant and your lawyer. Yes. But why? Okay, so I get why politics. They desire to do better.
Yeah.
Why Mikudnov specifically?
Now, I'm an independent candidate. Eh?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Mikudnov holds a special place in my heart. I was born in Miku, raised in Miku.
C'est maman Miku.
Moi c'est Jean Miku. Moi juste travaille à Boca, moi venu au office Miku. So over the years I've been interacting a lot with Miku people. I'm very grateful for the encouragement, for the support. And at this juncture I feel that I need to give something back to the people of Miku. I think that we've gotten to a stage where both parties, and more particularly the UWP, has failed, especially within the last 10 years, to deliver to Miku a certain level of prosperity and a certain level of improvement and progress. The Labour Party, in my view, is not doing enough to give us that viable alternative. And that is why I've decided to join the race so that I can give to the people a few more options, so that we can better decide on the direction that we want to go in Miku. Okay. And Mikudnov, as I said, is my place of growth. It's where I read, where I played, where I did every aspect of life in Mikudnov. And it is my connection to them that makes me feel committed at this point, notwithstanding whatever you're hearing, for me to get moins en politique là.
Mais comment ça?
Oui, et comme moi c'est pour ça, jamais couca ban moi ou chay encouragement.
Yo ka encourage yo. Mate jamais ko la teni on le moi te kay dou en parole encore.
Oui, you can encourage mon chay. moi te really kwe yo te ka ba biek moi yo te ka insulter moi jamais ka koute ça me ka dit.
Okay.
Et c'est ça moi aimé.
Ça comprend ça. So quand nous te do nous ka switch lang.
Oui.
Beauty of bilingual. So qui ça ouvle ouais fait amico. What is it that is not happening now that you want to see happen? What is it that has not been happening for, let's say, the past 15 years or so on either part? Because you mentioned the UWP and you mentioned the Labour Party. So what is it that is not happening that you want to see happen, or you believe you can effect that change in a sense?
Yes. So when you look at the statistics now, they tell you that Miku over the last 15 years has deteriorated to the point where we are the second poorest community on the island. And
I've been hearing that for a while.
Yes. And so, I don't want to say that, but there are many problems in Miku. And a lot of problems in Miku is, one, deterioration of the banana industry has led a lot to the level of deprivation, poverty in Miku. On chai moun besoin chai. Nous besoin travailler Miku. À tout secteur Miku, figue, cochon, beef, livestock, that is poultry. There's a lot of improvement that is required in Miku. If we now have to make the shift, si nous pour sortir, qu'on nous y a pour aller devant. Puis ça présente nous panifique. Figue là pas comme avant. So nous pour try from shy bagay to improve the level of decrease the level of poverty in Miku. So we need employment. We need to create a new spirit in Miku, to bring monies into Miku, to bring economic activity into Miku. What is happening now is just a tired UWP who simply now wants to be re-elected. So now you hear the projects and the roads and so on, and then after that, the community goes in abeyance. Nothing happens. Very little happens. Economic activity is very poor in Miku. And so we have to create, an environment where we can bring income back into Miku. We can give the people a new sense of hope in Miku. And that is, basically what I'm talking about. For example, if you look, we don't have a courthouse in Miku for the last 15 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, when I jump on a courthouse, people say, "Why is courthouse?" But
that's your. It's not
your only
area.
mine. It's not only mine. But on a court day in Miku, people from Deriso, people from Monrepo, people from all the constituencies, the environment, come into Miku. At lunchtime, our restaurants sell meals. We have the vendors outside selling. But now we don't have that. So that is the kind of, we have to look to bring in economic activity into Miku. I mean, when you look, we have a credit union, but it is not as profit generating or income generating. And so we need to try to look for what we call funding, donor funding, to undertake a lot of poverty projects, to stimulate economic activity, put monies into the pockets of people, but they have to work for it.
Well, understood.
For example, we have a Miku Village Council, and it also serves Monrepo and the environment.
And the environment.
And from the time I'm a child, all I know that they've been doing is just cleaning
around the
village. Mm-hmm. The roads have not extended beyond that. The question is why? We need work in Miku. Why is it still limited after 50 years just to that? So we need to be able now to go into Miku and look for the opportunities to improve Miku.
Okay, understood. So what I'm getting from you is stimulation of the economy.
Yes, of activity.
Economic activity.
I mean, one time, for example, a Friday night, Saturday night was a big thing in Miku, but it has gone to Dennery. I mean, what was helping us is the Guamun time. We had Guamun time, and a lot of people would patronize that, but we had a lot more in Miku.
Yeah, and then I think one of the things for the Guamun time was it, as with everything, because there's a phrase that as your economy grows, so does the sophistication of your crime.
That's right.
And then, of course, with the Guamun time and the other events, you also had an increase in the criminal element as well.
Yeah, but then you can also tie that into the fact that, by virtue of the fact that the system of justice in Miku is weak, if I can say that, then we are becoming more vulnerable. Because justice is not swift anymore.
But has it ever been, though?
Excuse me?
Has it ever been?
The access to a courthouse is the swiftest form of justice.
Okay.
But when you don't have a courthouse and you have to go to Bodiley, and you have to go to Dennery, and you know the difficulties with Bodiley, that you have to get a bus or walk up to Bodiley. You see? And so we're vulnerable because our justice system is weak. We depend on the police, but how much can the police do? The police, in terms of their knowledge of the law, might be quite limited. Though they may be able to assist, but they might be quite limited.
Yeah, because I remember, and of course, well, I wouldn't even say we're segueing because it all ties in.
Yes.
But I remember there was a period of time where, at that time I was still in Pfizer's, of course, and there was that period where you had these activities. Whether it be Guamun time, you had stuff happening at Angers, you had, a lot of activity.
Miku Day and Angers, Deriso Day and all.
But that automatically translated into, so you found that every weekend it was numerous trauma calls. It was the chopping and the stabbing, and then what you now had happening was a heavier police presence in places like T2 and the various communities, constant patrolling. So now and then the police started restricting the number of passes that they would give for various events. So it's like everything has that domino.
That's right. Everything has a domino effect.
Yeah. So now you mentioned a viable candidate on the part of SLP. That you had not found that they had presented a viable candidate over the last few years. When we started speaking initially, when we were weighing out why elections.
Yes.
So let's
you explore that.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Look
at the history. We don't have to go far, Look at the history of the Labour Party. The persons that they have presented to Miku North as candidates. Okay, granted they've not won, but among all of them, have we ever had a minister?
Fair point. Not that I'm aware of.
No. I mean, and the Labour Party had a system where they would introduce persons for the Senate. Yet, notwithstanding all of these Miku candidates, not one of our candidates have been a minister.
Why do you think?
Huh?
Why do you think?
Well, that's what I'm telling you. The Labour Party has not seen Miku as a constituency that they must spend too much time on, or too much money on, or be too committed to, because they've never won the Miku North seat. And when you just look at it, who among the Labour Party candidates from Miku have been a minister or come for the Senate as a minister? How many senators do we have from the Labour Party, from the candidates who have emerged as a senator? Only one. Out of Miku, Silas.
Yeah.
Pat Joseph came by virtue of who he was.
Yeah,
and his influence in bananas, but
not
was
through
not
the
a
Labour,
was not a candidate. So then, when you look at the history of the Labour Party, the candidates that they have chosen, none of them have risen to any level of importance within the Labour Party. Why? The question may very well be one. Maybe the Labour Party do not see, by virtue of the fact that they are not winning the seat, that they should commit too much I'm too meek enough. And so then when you look at it that way only, you realize, well, hey, something might be wrong by virtue of the fact that it doesn't appear that by virtue of the fact that they have not won the seat, that they do not want to commit
to winning the seat. But one does beg the question, ought that not to be where you place more emphasis if this is something that you have not gotten before? Because I remember we were having a discussion some time ago, myself and Marvin, and I was making the point that there seems to be almost Mikud North, where the Labour Party is concerned, seems to be treated more as an afterthought. So it's like we go up for elections, and then we don't win in 5 years. And just before the 5 years, we're now like, okay, who are we going to pick? Who are we going to pick? There's no grooming period. There's no, it's almost like something that you don't invest in. You have to do it, so you do it. But then, so the point that you made, and I had not looked at it from that angle, but it's definitely a valid point that there's no, it's like it stops there. You lose the election, and then it stops there on to the next one.
No, exactly. No one has risen to any level of prominence.
Even repetition. You're not even having repeat candidates.
That's right.
So
the only person who repeated was Silas. And Silas repeated in a by-election.
Exactly.
You see?
So yeah, that's
so when you look at it, you realize that okay, yes, Labour Party has not won the election, has not won the seat, and perhaps did not want to. And I understand that. They do not want to commit too much, and I think both parties are guilty of that. Because perhaps in Labrie, UWP might equally be hesitant. And they surrender seats because I suppose you're dealing with an economy where resources are limited, and so you may channel your resources into areas where you feel that the chances of success. And that is the reason for my independent candidacy. That I think right now, if Miku has to enjoy a level of prosperity, we from within have to be the resistance. We have to build the resistance to the point that we are sufficiently competitive that we can begin to make demands. If we're not prepared to do that, I do think we can depend on an organization to do it for us. And that is one of the reasons why when I looked at it, because I also made an application to the Labour Party. And essentially I went in there to understand the mindset of the Labour Party. The Labour Party you can select a candidate by Mikunov. Ça you can acheter. Vous avez moi bien examiner, moi questionner, moi voyer let by you, moi dire yo tout problème, moi te question you ni. La teni ni wheat. You pas ça select yon from wheat. You ai pour neuf. Ek ni. En 2 semaines yo menen. So let me garder ça, me garder. Problème nan nou ni ek li ba Miku, c'est that candidate Miku c'est on just en Jean yo ka bay candidate la. It's just a gift to offering, because I am not convinced that Liba really vle to advise it la pour try gagner.
But is it because we're speaking in so many years. Comme l'année, les papas aiment gagner ensuite. Même quand on a dit about Laboui et Miku, c'est ça. Flabo et Laboui. So at this point, is it more or less conceding? You pretty much, you have, let's say you're playing cricket. You need to have, just like when Walsh was playing cricket. Walsh can't bat for nothing. So he's the guy you send in last but you need to have him because you need the batsman. And you need him as a bowler, so he must be a batsman. So is there some level of conceding where the Labour Party is concerned for me? No.
Yes, it is. It is. It's and to me it's conceding to an extreme, because as I said that after these candidates have gone through the experience and were unsuccessful, how are they alleviated in any way? And I'm not saying that to criticize any particular person, but just look at the history and you will see.
How have they gotten better as a result of having run for the seat?
And how have the party supported them
thereafter?
As somebody from Mikunov became a senator, he becomes, he's a senator. Because look at a very simple example. Look at the Labour Party's Senate from 2016. Joachim lost the seat. He was made a senator. The guy who ran against Estefan, he lost. He was made a senator. In here, Miku South, Gideon Ferdinand,
he lost.
He was made a senator. But look at Miku, who has lost and became a senator in the last, as far as you can think of in the history of Miku politics.
With the exception of Cyrus.
With the exception of Cyrus. And Pat Joseph in his own right.
Yes. Yeah, Pat Joseph came from a lot of the banana industry, and there was so much more backing that than just
very well.
That's a very interesting point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you do the analysis, you realize that the better way to go is as an independent candidate. We have to begin to resist and to demand improvement from among ourselves. Then when we become competitive, we can make demands, because they will both be looking at us, that they want us to be on their side. So now we can begin making demands. But until such time, I don't think we can.
What do you think is the biggest challenge, specifically Mikudnov, contesting in Mikudnov?
Well, the biggest challenge is for you to put the campaign together, because it's all about you. The little support that perhaps the candidate may get from the party, you don't have that. So you are the one who have to get the finances. You are the one to put the campaign together. You are the one, so it's all about. It's a very challenging thing, but it's all about you.
You came into the race a little late.
Yes.
Yeah. You came into the race a little late. How has it been going? I mean, I can appreciate the challenges for you financially and physically, but barring that, how has it been going, the entire process? Because this is your first time,
yes,
contesting. So how has it been? What has the experience taught you? What are you, just moving forward? How has it been for you?
Although you say that I came in a bit late, yes.
Well, just the throwing the hat part. Just the throwing your hat in the ring part.
Yes, I came in a bit late, but it was not considerations as regards being an independent candidate that made me, made me, I can't get the word now, but made me delay my announcement, I'm not sure really, because what I was doing is looking at what was happening on the ground, because since you're doing this thing alone, you have to time it. It's all about timing, because you do not want to be in a long-winded campaign, you just being an independent candidate. And so, I had to decide perhaps when best to come in. And that is why I felt, when the discussion of the election, les gens commençaient à parler about election, quand il y a une il y a moment de comme question. Combien de temps on a besoin pour really, pour really faire un bon travail?
Pour moun connaître tout avec bail.
Oui. Avec des mêmes regarder, moi dis about 4 mois qu'il y a ici. Puis, pas pour oublier, moi sort Miku. Et on chai moun connaît on chai about moi Miku. Vous avez, on chai moun qu'a 10 mois about moi Miku.
Ça comprend ça.
So, Makadi Manipu, mali pou fè travay la ou sa. Mais kon moun ki la pa kon mwen, ma sa fè kon les autres parti ya. Yo sa fè announcement yo, bonnet si yo vle, pis on chaye l'argent, c'est yo ki kabay. Mais ek mwen, c'est mwen ki ni pou travay. Ek den, mwen si yon nom, mwen ka pou kom, pay kom mwen.
Pon chaitan.
Oui, pon chaitan. So den, le mwen gade, mwen nye travay la ka ale, mwen teni pou deside pitet. Kayon tan le, pitet bay pli alens. E vous savez, pis, décembre, janvier, février, c'est moi où nous avons chaque travail pour faire. So, moi, je pour try mettre tout bagage en place, so that moi, un temps, moi, je fais travail là comme independent candidate. So, it was really the timing, my work schedule and many other things. Because from the minute that I made the application to the Labour Party and they made the announcement of the candidate, I indicated to them clearly that I was moving into an independent contract. But then it was just to put it all together. I needed the support base. I needed to get, a few people around me because I'm not doing this thing in joke. I'm going to win this thing. I'm just laughing. I'm just joking. Yeah, but I'm going to make an impression to give people an option, a qualified, mature, experienced option, for them to choose from. And so I want to do it well, and I want to do it in an organized way. So that's why the time, because I had to make sure that the manifesto was in order. I had to make sure that the work on the ground is happening and the flyers are going out and we're walking the ground and we're meeting the people. So, I try to do it in an organized way because I want to make a good impression. Because Miku deserves that.
Understood. Now, I do see that you have your manifesto. So, give us a few. Of course, we know you're not going to run through and read the entire.
No.
But maybe those. Well, I know everything would be dear to your heart, of course.
Yeah.
But those that kind of stick out, those that hold, give us. We will be right back with. I'm going to delve a little deeper into the manifesto. So stay with us. This, of course, is Annou Koze.
PAX is the agent for Caribbean Line, which offers an effective alternative for global integrative of transport logistics from Sheerness, UK to Vieux-Fort St. Lucia in shipping, documentation, administrative procedure, loading and unloading operations. We also offer courier, small package service, customs brokerage, ship agency, freight forwarder, consolidator, and accounting services. Visit them today on New Dock Road, Vieux-Fort, or call 454-1200 or 7198837. PAX is effective, efficient, and reliable.
Real estate transactions are now made easy. Whether buying, selling, or renting residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, or touristic property, We offer the best deals in real estate transactions with professional support, including valuation, material sourcing, and construction. Contact Ed Harris and Associates, your courteous and efficient real estate agents. Call 485-1456 or email caribbiz@gmail.com.
Do you need to copy or print your document? Are you in need of insurance? Are you looking for office stationery? Stop. Yes, LMP Services on Clark Lane, View Fort has all the services you need. They open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or call 454-8757 or 721-8757 for affordable rates, reliable and effective customer service with a difference.
And Nestor's Auto Parts, located on the Labrie-Viford Highway, is your place for auto parts. We have suspension parts, mounts, brakes, shocks, and so much more.
We specialize in accessories like mats, batteries, horns, lubricants, and much more.
We're open from Mondays to Saturdays from 8 to 5 and Sundays on most holidays from 8 to 1.
L'on prie, en est-ce qu'on va aider pour vous.
What do you need to transport? Call the hauler. At M&E's Trucking, we offer a wide range of services island-wide. From containerized movement, flatbed service, and lowboy transfers. We're located at Beanfield View Fort. Our skillful professional drivers are ready to serve you. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or email us at vibration711@gmail.com. Call us at 488-1000. We're ready to serve you. M&E's Trucking Service, a powerhouse ready to haul.
My mother sent us back. It was out of his breakfast to give us something. Still with it.
Things were very difficult with my parents, and my mother opened a small bakery in the Castries area.
Because my father do everything he could do for me, not for himself, for me, personal. And from there, when I see my mom from there yesterday, and I just remember my mother and my father every day, how they take it so hard to bring us up. And I seen from today there, I have two disabled children from mother. The mother asks for freedom, and they don't want that freedom, you know.
My MP said that we would have a new wellness center. Here we are. It's almost finished.
My community said we needed a new wing to our secondary school. And my MP said yes.
My sister said she needed help to find a job, so my MP created a job fair.
Our athlete said we needed better sporting facilities.
A new early childhood development center.
My neighbor said.
My sister said.
The children said.
Community said.
Roads and a new park. And my MP said.
Yes.
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 Of course.
Nous toutes, c'est une famille en Micoud-Nord. Et nous continuons pour faire progrès avec Antigil.
My mother sent us back. It was out of his breakfast to give us something. Still didn't get it.
Things were very difficult with my parents, and my mother opened a small bakery in the Castries area.
Because my father do everything he could do for me, not for himself, for me, personal. And from there, when I see my mom from there yesterday, and I just remember my mother and my father every day, how they take it so hard to bring us up. And I seen from today there, I have two disabled children from mother. The mother asks for freedom, and the woman that's free there, you know.
For staying with us. We do apologize for what was clearly the noise in the background. Yeah. So there was some dispute. However, we want to thank you guys for staying with us. We are going to about yes. So we're definitely going to be giving you a scenario. It's Mother's Day. Of course, it's going to be something that causes you to think and something that brings its own humor as well. And you do have the option of calling in, asking Mr. St. Catherine any question that you would like. We were going to touch base on the manifesto, but we may have to come back because our time is kind of winding down. So our scenario tonight is this. A couple had been going through some financial difficulties. Yeah, that's a lawyer's question. So a couple had been... I'm sorry? Sorry about that. So our scenario tonight is that a couple had been going through some financial difficulties and they felt that it was too much to bear. So they decided to commit suicide jointly. Wow. So they climbed, oh yeah, so we're definitely going to get the lawyer's take on that too. Climbed the building and the agreement was that they would jump. So they would count to 3 and they would jump off the building. So they counted to 3 and the woman jumped. The man didn't. And he stood and he watched her go down the floors. So from the 40th floor to the 30th floor. And then when she got to probably like the 20th floor in free falling, her parachute deployed. Who broke the trust in the relationship? So that's our scenario tonight. So who lied to whom? Who broke the trust in the relationship? So they were both supposed to jump and she did. But then she was carrying a parachute. So who broke the trust in the relationship? And of course, you guys can always call in. I'm sure I will add our WhatsApp number on the line, so you can definitely call. You can also message with your, and of course, Facebook is an option. I will give you the scenario again. And we're ending on a light note. So you do have the option of asking Mr. St. Catherine anything that you would like to know. It has been a really, really informative discussion. But our scenario tonight is a couple has been going through some financial difficulties and they decide to jointly commit suicide as a result. Can I take it again? So, on my coffee masam, yo by wed, by move, yo pasapon, yo decide yo kai chwe koyo. Ensemble. So yo de a mute along building, yo decide yo kai konte, Après toi, yo tout le de ka sauter sortir le building. So yo côté femme lan sauter, nom lan wete. I gade femme lan ka descend. Avant femme lan rive le concrete là, il di parachute li. So question c'est qui moun qui détruit what they call the trust. So c'est qui moun ou pas sa trust en relationship là. Qui moun qui really fait wrong là. So c'est a question also. Yeah. So of course you can call, you can post it on Facebook, and any questions you may have for Mr. St. Catherine, you can do that as well. Our number is on the screen, 722-6542, and I will be looking at your comments online as well. Now, Mr. St. Catherine, we really, really appreciate you coming here with us this evening. It was a beautiful brainstorming, and as much as it had the political slant to it, but it was not a political discussion, if that makes sense. It was informative, and it was an opportunity to see things from a different angle. And I'm always of the belief that discussions, intelligent dialogue cannot happen if you're only hearing the side of the story that you are familiar with.
That's right.
You know, so I really want to say thank you for that. I really, really do appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. You see, that was the reason for my delay in making the decision too, because I had to really look at it and analyze it, because I mean, you know, it will be a challenge. There will be a lot of questions. People will be questioning me from all angles. Why independent? As an independent, will you be able to serve your community? Which side will you join? You know, and you know, so
yes, that's the frequent question.
It was for me a period to really sit down and analyze, because you have to prepare. You know, moun kay fini, you kay mo to kay question, ou pas again independent pas again this election. So c'est comme ça. You know, that is the kind of thing. But as I said, I am going into this thing to make a difference.
And I think too,
and there are examples of persons who have made a difference as independent.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and
you know,
I think the other thing too is that based on the demographic and the mindset of the constituents, an independent does determine on some level which party wins. And what I mean is, the moment you come in, you are splitting the votes. You automatically, so which means you are giving them less to work with. So there is that. And of course, should the independent candidate emerge victorious, then that's an entirely different ballgame, because now you're in the house on your own. So your entire, but you did.
But for me, if that happens, it will put us in the best position that we have ever been in the last 20 years.
So, question.
Or the last 25 years.
Question. Because you did mention having extended the application to the Labour Party. And it is a bit presumptuous in the asking of the question, but I think it's a question that merits asking nonetheless. So, should you emerge victorious, would that still be the party that you would be interested in, or are you more inclined to remain as an independent candidate, or would you be interested in joining forces with the Labour Party?
No. I don't think I will. You know, that is an immediate consideration at all.
Okay.
I will continue to stand as an independent person, because I think that is the best position that Miku North can be at this point.
Okay. All right.
So that we can get the best. Well, you know, or we can get the best from both worlds.
Fair enough.
Because the UWP is simply taking Miku for granted, and it has now become a personal agenda for the MP. The MP does not see Miku as a community challenge. To me, in my opinion, it looks like, well, first and foremost, let me satisfy my personal ambitions, and then after. And it was never like that in the time of people like Sir John and even Louis George and a lot of those guys coming down the line. They told you community first. But what we have now in Miku, in my opinion, is person first, community after. And I think that is also what is causing, a further deterioration in what is happening in Miku. You see? And as I have already explained to you what I think the Labour Party position is. And so I think I will have an extended life as an independent longer than Richard Patrick. Richard only remained an independent candidate because he ran initially in 2006 as an independent, and then he went to EWP.
Yes.
But then I will have, I am telling you, an extended stay as an independent candidate. I'm not going to tell you that at some point I may not decide, or with my constituents decide that we should take a particular position.
But in the interim, this is where you're...
Because you see, we are also in the era of constitutional reform, which, from a lot of the reports you're hearing, that the politicians didn't take too seriously.
But since we are on that topic...
And so, an independent candidate winning will be, to a certain extent, a vindication of the constitutional reform movement. That
the need for it.
We need to do some shifts. We need to hold people accountable. We need to,
But isn't there supposed to be a certain number of seats, a certain number in order to effect change to the constitution?
Yes. Most times it's a two-thirds majority.
Two-thirds majority.
Quarters majority. I'm not too sure. But yes, But essentially the point is the constitutional reform report has been debated in Parliament, but it does not appear that
it has not been adopted.
Are too interested at this point. If an independent candidate emerges victorious, and now you have an independent MP
from several places as well.
That in itself will be a vindication that really there is a need for us to look at the Constitution and to effect some reforms to it. The thing about it is that it's not going anywhere because there are not sufficient examples to support it. But then if you have realistic experiences like independent candidates now winning elections and holding the balance of power,
it's kind of glaring in your face right now.
Then we need to begin to examine it.
Understood. Fair enough. So we're ending on a lighter note tonight. So, yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. No, you were making your point. I was going back to something which I can definitely get back to after. But you were making a point.
I think I was finished.
Okay. So yes. So with our scenario tonight.
Well, from the onset, I think the gentleman was a breach of the trust. He never jumped.
No, he never jumped.
I think the lady jumped, but then she kept a lifeline. The lifeline was the parachute.
Which for me says there was never trust in the relationship to begin with. Because why would you need a lifeline if you believe he's going to jump? It's like on some deep level, you're like, yeah, he might not jump. So just in case. So I think from the moment, you're a lawyer, so I'm guessing you'd always have the in case, your backup plan. But the fact that you require a backup plan for something that should have no backup plan, because it's suicide. You're not getting up tomorrow and go like, maybe we should not have done this. So my take is I don't think there was trust on either side, and maybe he just had other plans. So that was a quicker way to just get rid of her. But, yeah. So why do we have a call on the line? Oh, okay. Let me just go through my comments. All right. So we have some comments here. Some apply to you. Is that okay if I yeah? We generally have a very pleasant and respectful Annou Koze. Yes, we do. So we have one gentleman who says, as a lawyer coming into politics, independence is not the way to go. You need to know that you have the force of power to be able to assist your people properly. As you rightly said, you are alone and it's hard to manage your own self. So don't continue to waste people's time.
Because can read it. I mean, and for me,
Okay. Because you will only be a parasite between the two, begging for your ends to meet, I say
what's wrong
no
with
to
that? That's what politics is about.
So, no to independent
You know, the
candidate.
amount of debate that goes on in Parliament. You know, everybody asking for their constituency.
Yeah, but then again, I think
that's what it's about.
I think persons
not a
treat
parasite.
politics like there's some level of, to play devil's advocate, but persons treat it like it ought to be squeaky clean.
No, it's not.
There's a certain level of dirt in the game. There is a certain level of dirt in the game. All right, let's see here. Those of you who are tuned in from Grenada, thank you so much. We really do appreciate the love, One Caribbean. So Cynthia says it has nothing to do with trust. It's pure stupidity on the woman's part. Even though the saying goes, ladies first, she didn't have to take it literally. Okay, so well, yes. So she survived. So they both survived. So it's interesting what happens afterwards, because I'm guessing time's still rough, things still hard. So what do you go back and replan the suicide at this point?
Break up.
Yeah, I think from the moment she jumped and he didn't, the relationship was over. Technically, she's dead. So yes. But we really want to express our gratitude. I think one of the things that I experienced tonight was, and I do have to commend you on that, as much as you expressed your dissatisfaction with the various candidates, whether it be by selection or by action, it stayed within the realms of Bonsoir, bienvenue à Annou Koze.
Bonsoir, Kishma.
Hey, how are you?
Well. Bon, moi je vais parler
Scenario.
Toujours quoi, yon y a qui laisse préparer nom. Peut-être, nom là c'est qui te femme là pour essayer de qui tombe pour voir tenir qui tombe. Mais femme là c'est à l'autre flanc tenir par la chute parce que qui te nom là mort. Et tenir qui vient parce que c'est à l'autre nom qui est. Tu comprends?
Oui, moi je comprends ça, mais non là pas aimer sauter, ce qui mène au cas.
Non, mais non mais c'est quelque chose, parce que moi connais non, parce que on va pas comme sur side. Vous savez ça? Mais non là c'est vrai ça, si comme là c'est quelque chose pour vous. Et ouais, plan femme là. Tu comprends? Bon, moi je vais dire un petit minute, pas vrai pour dire. Moi je vais dire Mr. Senka, c'est un bon nom. Et moi connais plus comme ça. Right? Avec les courir, clients qui te resté, et moi, je fais ça, où tu vas te choisir, ma ça coûte ça fait. Et moi, je vais correct Mr. Senkationale, you tell bagay, right? Because les bons partis, a été pour préparer flambeau, jamais aidé avec moi, tout sous tes cas dit ça. Moi, tout sous cas dit ça, parce que les Kenyans sont liés à fond. Je vais faire 1000 coups. Et tu ne peux pas jamais faire ça. D'ailleurs, dernier ça là, nous avons ça qu'a fait 1000 coups. Et actuellement, nous avons quelqu'un qui travaille. Dernier année, parce que quelqu'un qui travaille bien gimmick pour qu'il soit Western Power. Mais Mr. St. Catherine, moi c'était un independent candidate avec moi drop out. Pour une raison. Parce que moi, quoi, moi, pas de qui ça fait pour ça là. Avec moi, ça, Jerry Mayer avec les papiers à Hani en paix. Et que les moi tourner et garder Jerry Mayer. Moi, ouais, il pas qu'on pièce là. C'est nom là qui a venu quand il go. Avec moi, quoi, nous savons les premiers sommes là. Où est-ce c'est différent? Parce que si pas différent, moi, quand je dis, l'autre élection qui vont dire quittez moi ici. Moi, je campagne against lui. Parce que moi, je dis, vous devez être l'autre promesse. Et que moi, je même conseil, mais je ne pas ça chicher. Parce que nous, nous avons 6 l'année. Premier cycle, qu'elle est en opposition. les bons styles de café by Mikou, mais il dit anti qu'elle pas ça fait by ça, parce que mon opposition, les gays en 2016, il dit, well, actuellement, moi, quand je travaille, 4 années qui finissent, je l'ai qui a fait toute la Mikou. Et dernière année, elle veut couper des mouns, car vous souhaitez qu'elle nous toute bagaille. We're not about moon. We're about Miku. Mr. St. Catherine. When you say West people, and when you say West people, Miku, no. Opinion, we drop out. We pas qu'à tout pour drop out. Pas qu'à simmer faire ça. Est-ce que vous comprenez? Mais moi, qu'à tout. A better chance, nous need pour pull girl out. Because girl pas pour nous. Tout ça, il a fait, il a mis en chose. Girl pas simmer, il va malgré tout ça. Qui sait jouer avec ces mamans là? Il faut deux calls pass et qui peut tirer un shot. On comprend rien by Mamikou. Mamikou c'est pas top Mikou non. Ou by poiler, you sell chimé. C'est ça ou by yo. Qui ça ou by l'on va? Ou by Mamikou you chimé. Mais Mikou non. On dit Mikou village, we crois qu'il consider part of Mikou non. Regardez yo, nous débattons quel cycle et madame Salah. It's pre-forced. Why pre-forced? And the women they help by human. It's a portal. And she back. They think like I moved by Madame Love. Mr. St. Catherine, I wish you the best. And then we wish with this our foot bow. They will pass our place everywhere. Very nice. They no love. Ale, who we against kill? Who fight kill? Who are? Good night. Kiss. Good night, Mr. St. Catherine. I wish you the best.
All right, Bob. Thanks for calling. What's your What do you wish you just have good, Bob?
You see, that's a mistake we've always been making in Mikunov. You know.
Allô, bonsoir. Bienvenue à soi, Annou Koze. Hello? Hello? You saying?
Yeah, that's a mistake we've been making in Mikuno. Always saying, okay, let's accept this person and then we will change on the next occasion.
Bienvenue. Thank you for calling, Annou Koze.
Yes, what question you have?
Pardon?
What is
I'm sorry, can you say that again, caller? Oh, merci. Moi apprécier ça, merci.
Okay. What fait maman pour?
Merci. Ou ça, continue, ou ça fait point?
Moi, ma vérité, c'est ma vie, c'est à qui est gagné l'espoir. Est-ce que, quand tu vois là, est-ce que là, ça peut être une idée un peu plus? On veut pas dire que ma vie, c'est à qui est gagné l'espoir. Quand tu fais là, est-ce qu'il y a un commun? Le magasin, comment tu fais un magasin? Ça fait long. On veut dire que ça fait pas plus. En avocat, pour le député général, c'est de la médication, c'est mon national, avec ce qui est le nom, le pas politicien. Le pas politicien, le pas politicien, c'est un et nous-mêmes, actuellement, c'est 3 mois de travail, de 3 semaines de travail, de mon côté, pas taper un arrêt, pas taper. Si moi, je la vie, nous avons dit, à dans 6 ans encore, 7 ans encore. Et que nous avons même ça aussi Covid, ça va continuer tout de suite comme ça. Si côté nous va être, c'est fini pour mal, c'est tout ce qui va être mal. En disant, c'est politicien. Tout partout là, il va être plus mal, en disant, c'est politicien.
Okay, so you understood what you were saying?
I think I understand, but the thing about it is that
caller, who's still there? You were saying?
No, I understand what he's saying, but the thing about it is politics has its place, and we have to accept politics as being part of the social fabric. So I mean, as much as we may have our problems with it, again, it comes down to who do we elect. We have to elect persons that we, as he said, can plead for us. That can put the case for us. I mean, I heard Marvin.
Yeah, you were making a point.
I'm making a point about Marvin. That's a mistake Mikunov has been making. Every candidate who has been presented by the Labour Party, we accept it. And then we say, on the next occasion, we'll change. And on the next occasion, we never change.
Accept it, and then it continues.
And it continues. So at some point, that's why I'm telling you that when I look at it, the reason for my independent position is because I am now more convinced that we have to be the ones to initiate
to effect the change.
We cannot depend on them because essentially they are there, looking at, what scenarios are best for them. And sometimes we get chaptered, and that is what has been happening to Mikunov. Every time we say, okay, we'll change it next time, and it never happens. So that is why I'm taking this position today.
Understood. Okay, beautiful. Yes, thank you so much. So guys, we are still, the line is still open if you don't want to call, but we are wrapping up. We want to really express, as I was saying prior, before we got the call, that I appreciated the fact that this, it lent itself to just a beautiful intellectual discourse. No parley, it did not venture into the typical bashing, mudslinging kind of politics.
That's not my style. Yeah. But then even the caller before Marvin's point, okay, Jeremiah. But I still ask the question, what does Jeremiah bring to the table?
That's an interesting point.
And I asked them, for example, if Jeremiah wins the election, how will he assist us? What ministry will he hold? I mean, yes, he'll win the election, but how do we benefit from him? What does he bring to the table? I don't see that he brings anything more than, the regular candidate from Mikunov.
I think one of the things, I remember someone said to me, you need to vote Jeremiah Norbert. And I asked the question, why? Because I don't have a political party.
Yes.
And what I mean is, every election I vote.
Yes.
Every election I usually have 2 or 3 manifestos at my home.
Yes.
I sit, I read, I get up, I vote. So I've never been, okay, I'm Flambeau, I'm Die-Hard Flambeau, I'm Labour. I've never been that. So someone said to me, you need to vote Jeremiah Norbert. And I asked the question, why? And when I asked the question, it's not why. I'm genuinely asking,
yes,
why? And then I was told, because he's a young man. And then my response was, is that the only reason? Is age the basis for me to cast a vote for someone? Because if it's because he's young, then in the same breath I can say, well, I can go for experience as well. Exactly. If the only thing we're talking about is age. So, I mean, you make a very valid point. It is not enough that this person is going under a red ticket or under a yellow ticket.
Yes.
Or even in your case, under a green ticket. The question is the meritorium. Like, what is the basis for giving that person the vote? So I just find it too often we're just following because we've been used to following in that particular direction. So yeah, so that's my position. I was speaking with my parents recently, and my mom asked me, where are you voting? And I'm like, well, unless election is tomorrow, I still have time. Yeah, so I because for me it's always based on merit. I don't. So I do appreciate the dialogue that we have had this evening. I do appreciate that it did not venture into the bashing of Dr. Rigobert or the bashing of Jeremiah Norbert. So I do appreciate that. But I did like the time. Thank you. I'm looking forward to going through your manifesto. I really am.
Yeah, we'll probably do that some other time.
Yeah, we definitely. The nice thing is it's not this thick laden, 12-page book. So we should be able to run through it in a session.
All right.
But just before we close, is there anything that you would like to add?
Well, yeah, I mean, I want to thank the people of Mikunov so far for the support and for the encouragement that I'm getting. I mean, when you look at the history, you realize independent candidate is nothing new to Miku and Mikunov. And so it's an area where you can actually explore that avenue. And that is what I'm doing. I want to thank them. I was expecting a lot more criticism, a lot more, negative feedback. And, so far we've been blazing the trail. We've been going through the communities, and, the response has been very warm. I must commend them. I perhaps should have done it a little earlier.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
But I mean, it's quite encouraging. So I as I indicated, I want to put a good case for Miku. I want to present a viable option as well to Miku. I'm a mature, experienced, capable person, and I think a lot more persons like me should present ourselves so that we do not find ourselves in having to brainstorm before we can make a decision.
Like
but
me.
I am very happy. I want them to continue being that way and lend me the support, because I think I can make a difference in Mikunov.
Fantastic. And guys, of course, we really, really want to express, as always, our sincere thanks for tuning in to us tonight. Let me just pop in and see what's happening on our Facebook page with regards to the comments. I know most of you guys usually go that route. Okay, so we have someone who said, hey, lawyer man, congratulations. Did I really just read the we like she wrote it? There's about 5 E's after we. Right now, we in Mikunov don't want you as an independent candidate. We love you. Either you join Krashne's Gale or UW team, or you rally with Jeremiah Norbert, the SLP candidate. Mikunov soon to be district representative. Come home to labor. Jump on board with Jeremiah Norbert. So yeah, that is some of the comments with regards to the show. So I'm just browsing through. So guys, we do appreciate the comments. We do appreciate you guys tuning in like you always do. Again, we really want to say Happy Mother's Day to all of our listeners. Whether you're listening on channel 115 on Flow, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, we do want to express our gratitude. We want to say Happy Mother's Day, and of course we want to take the time out, like we always do, to encourage you. And thank you for tuning in with us. We will be here next week Sunday at 7:30. We do apologize for the delay and the noise in the background. We were able to get both of that settled. It does help having strong, bold men around. So that was dealt with. So we do want to say thank you. We will be here next week Tuesday at 7:30. The universe willing. Until then, you guys have an epic week. Remember to take next week Sunday. Okay. Remember to take care of yourself. We want to say thank you to Mr. St. Catherine for joining us. My name is Kishma. Thank you so much for watching Annou Koze. You guys stay safe. Bye-bye.
MP said that we would have a new wellness center. Here we are. It's almost finished.
My community said we needed a new wing to our secondary school. And my MP said yes.
My sister said she needed help to find a job, so my MP created a job fair.
Our athlete said we needed better sporting facilities.
A new early childhood development center.
My neighbors said.
My sister said.
The children said.
Community said.
Roads and a new park. And my MP said.
Yes.
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 Of course.
Nous tous, c'est une famille en Micoud Nord. On nous continue pour faire progrès avec Antigil.
PAX is the agent for Caribbean Line, which offers an effective alternative for global integrative of transport logistics from Sheerness, UK to View Fort St. Lucia in shipping, documentation, administrative procedure, loading and unloading operations. We also offer courier, small package service, customs brokerage, ship agency, freight forwarder, consolidator, and accounting services. Visit them today on New Dock Road, Beaufort, or call 454-1200 or 7198837. PAX is effective, efficient, and reliable.
Real estate transactions are now made easy. Whether buying, selling, or renting residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, or touristic property, we offer the best deals in real estate transactions with professional support, including valuation, material sourcing, and construction. Contact Ed Harris and Associates, your courteous and efficient real estate agents. Call 485-1456 or email caribbiz@gmail.com.
Do you need to copy or print your document? Are you in need of insurance? Are you looking for office stationery? Stop. Yes, LMP Services on Clark Lane, Beaufort has all the services you need. They open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or call 454-8757 or 721-8757 for affordable rates, reliable and effective customer service with a difference.
And Nestor's Auto Parts, located on the Labrie-Viford Highway, is your place for auto parts. We have suspension parts, mounts, brakes, shocks, and so much more.
We specialize in accessories like mats, batteries, horns, lubricants, and much more.
We're open from Mondays to Saturdays from 8 to 5 and Sundays and most holidays from 8 to 1.
Love we and let's look like deep you.
What do you need to transport? Call the hauler. At M&E's Trucking, we offer a wide range of services island-wide. From containerized movement, flatbed service, and lowboy transfers. We're located at Beanfield View Fort. Our skillful professional drivers are ready to serve you. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or email us at vibration711@gmail.com. Call us at 488-1000. We're ready to serve you. M&E's Trucking Service, a powerhouse ready to haul.
My mother sent us back. It was out of his breakfast to give us something. Still with them.
Things were very difficult with my parents, and my mother opened a small bakery in the Castries area.
Because my father do everything he could do for me, not for himself, for me, personally. And from there, when I see my son yesterday, and I just remember my mother and my father every day, how they take it so hard to bring us up. And I seen from today there, I have two disabled children from mother. The mother asks for freedom, and the woman just free there, you know.